I give you some background of the meditation tonight. It's about lust, Raga. Begin with a long breath in and out. After your physical body fully relax, you can deal with the breath freely. That's how you begin being in the present moment, here and now. It's really become one of the custom of practitioner is to delight in the developing and to delight in letting go. Developing refer to the developing the skillful qualities of the mind here. Developing the skillful qualities of the mind is developing the path. And you know well, right, what's skillful quality of the mind? Just simply mindfulness and awareness. That's developing the path. Because all the 8 noble path factors is coming out from mindfulness and awareness. The letting go is the letting go of craving, ignorance, and all the cause of the suffering. So it's very important to keep in mind that we are developing mindfulness. We tend to forget all the cause of suffering in a different way. One way of forgetting is to delight in the developing and skillful quality. We like our greed, we like our lust, we like our anger. And that's why we nurture these things. We may not be consciously doing it as a practice, but it is a habit. It becomes a way of nurturing, of training the mind in that particular direction. But when we come to actually developing the factor of the path, somehow it seems awful, hard. So this is where we have to generate desire to abandon what's unskillful and develop what's skillful. Right effort, the ability to generate that desire. Try to think about a way in which the lust, aversion, and delusion are really not your friend. Not our friend, they are enemies. You might think of them as a pets that we keep around the house. But there are kinds of the pests like snake, wild cats, that if we are not careful are going to turn around, bite us, and eat us up. Sometimes it's very important to think about the drawback of things like lust. It's something we like a lot, but look at where it's led to is horrible. Think of all stupid things, all the harmful things we have done under the power of lust in the past. You may ask yourself, do you really want that to take over my again? Is it really your friend? Is it really nice? Or is it the kind that cheats all over the place and attack us when it is in a bad mood? You may think of all that crazy things that other people do under the influence of lust. A large proportion of murderers that have happened between peoples who had sex with each other. I mean, if having sex were such a good thing, why would they turn around and murder each other? Family court is the most vicious and violent of different branches of the court system, all because of the power of lust. Just look at what lust does to the mind right here, right now. When it starts firing up, you can think how much you lie to yourself, how many areas of the mind get shut down as you focus on liking this, wanting that, and totally ignoring all the consequences. The narrative that our mind built up in the mind are totally fantasies to be attractive. They rely on a huge blind spot. And large parts of the mind simply get shut down. What does the mind do this to itself? Is it something we really want to look into? We can also think about the sensual pressure that we have had in the past. Where are they now? All we have left is the memory, and sometimes include the memory of unskillful things that we did around those pressure. Remember, the Buddha said if you don't have the pressure that comes from a well-concentrated mind, no matter how much you think about the drawback of the sensuality or the drawback of the greed, aversion, and delusion, you just cannot let them go. you need another form of pressure to replace the pressure that you come with the sensuality. This is why we have to develop the factors of the path, sati, and the right concentration, mindfulness. So it's really good to learn to look at the pressure of the mindfulness and concentration as our friends. Because they don't cause you to do anything unskillful. We sometimes hear about the danger of the concentration, but the dangers of the concentrations are nothing compared to the dangers of the sensuality, right? I don't see people kill, steal, cheat, or have illicit sex, lie, or take any intoxicant because of the jhana that they have attained. On the contrary, when you have the pressure of the well-concentrated mind, it is a lot easier to stop doing those unskillful things. There are only few passages in the canon where the Buddha mentions the drawback of the jhana, and they are pretty minor. You get so attached to that pressure that you really don't want to start taking apart your sense of self, the way you create a sense of self around yours. Pressure around your desire. I think the Buddha said that this attachment is like grabbing a hold of sappy twig on a tree, and your hand stick to the twig because of the sap. But that is very extremely minor drawback. And I think it's something that can be dealt with very easily. It's not very dangerous as the drawback of the sensuality, which the Buddha compared to the burning glass or a pit of glowing embers. Those drawbacks can pull off your path entirely and throw you into the hell right here, right now, even. So we need to work on developing a sense of pressure in the form of body as sense from within, rather than in visualize the attractive details of the human body's appearance. You can take your sense, the body as you inhabit in the right here, right now. How do you relate to it? How can you find the pressure simply in sitting here and being aware of the fact that you are inhabiting this body? And this is where the breath comes in, because this is one of the few processes of the body that you can alter, that you can manipulate. For sure, it's going to take a while to learn how to manipulate it skillfully, which is why we spend so much time practicing. Sometimes we find ourselves manipulating the breath and it gets worse, right? Which means we have to step back for a while and just learn how to watch it, learn more about it. Then when we get a better sense of it, we can try playing with it again. Sensing where the different blockages are in the body. When you breathe in, you can get the breath energy to go all the way down. Also, learn to think about subtle breath energy that does not require that you push or pull on anything. There are many ways to delight ourselves in order to let go, replace the pressure of the sensuality. Thinking of the relaxing the different muscle, maybe starting with the muscle of the finger and the hand, and going up the arms. You can actually visualize the bones and say whether there's any tension. That's not the bones tension, it's the muscle tension. The bones hold no tension at all. Allow the muscle around those particular bones to relax. Then you can visualize the bones up through the arm, up to the shoulder, then start again at the feet, going up the legs, maybe through the pelvis, up the backbones, up the neck, skull. Wherever you sense any tension or tightness, allow it to relax. And then the energy in the body will flow a lot more smoothly and easily. And this way you are developing the factors of the right concentration. Actually, you are making it easier to let go of your other attachments. You have got something better to hold on to, right? And that's how the bad things goes away. This is also why it's very important to understand that the practice is not just one of letting go. There has to be a developing as well. And this is what my mom noted. She said sometimes you hear that it's all about letting go, but no, you have to develop. If you don't develop skillful quality in the mind, you cannot really let go of the unskillful ones. The bad has to be replaced by the good. And that is Buddhist letting go. So sometimes it's not just a matter of watching, and letting the defilement just slough off. Some defilements might slough off simply through washing, but not all of them. There are some, and these are really important. The tennis is one where you have to exert the fabrication against them. In other words, you have to do something intentional in order to get past them. Like working with the breath. That is the bodily fabrication. The way you breathe can help weaken a lot of the defilements. And by that way, actually, you can see exactly what's going on exclusively in the mind. They are a lot easier to deal with when they are not in charge of your breath, not in charge of the way the blood is flowing in the body, not in charge of different physical process in the body. It's just like when the anger arises, if you can breathe calmly during the anchor has not hijacked your body, then it's a lot easier to deal with the anchor directly in the mind. That's what I learned. There is another type of fabrication. It's a mental fabrication, feeling, perception. And this can be related to the breath as well. we create a sense of ease and well-being in the body. That feeling makes it a lot easier to let go of the need for the immediate gratification. Through our defilement, we can say like, look, I've got this pressure here. Why not focus on the pressure that's already here rather than on the false pressure that we are dreaming about? As we relax our hand and relax our feet, we actually open up a lot of other channels to the body. And I think we gain a sense of well-being immediately right here, right now. You try it. It really does not depend on the expressing anger or following our lust. Same time, you change the perception around the defilement to see that if we perceive lust or anger as our friend, we are going to go running along with. It's really time is comes for a visit. Learning to look at in a different way. Here it comes a cloud to obscure the mind. My mom said, here comes some crook and thieves and conmen. Actually, they want us to see things in their way and act under their way. But then when the police come to catch, they go running off. And you are the one who left, bearing all the responsibility for what you did. taking a deep breath in and out, sharing our peaceful mind, peacefulness, loving kindness to all being. Sape satta avera hotu, apaya pacha hotu, anika hotu, sukhi antanang pariha rantu.